So Maryland's Conservation Partnership. So in each district field office, the staff there is usually a mix of federal, state, and local or district employees, and we're all working together towards a common goal. So often shared office space and perform duties as a team. So that shared office space, sometimes you'll hear that referred to as co-location. And that team is usually made up of USDA's Natural Resources Conservation Service, or NRCS, MDA, and district employees funded by the district and local or state government. So service centers may also house Farm Service Agency staff, University of Maryland Extension, and others. And when that is feasible, then it becomes a one-stop resource for farmers and landowners to receive technical and financial assistance. So for a typical district structure, although it's difficult to show exactly how your district is structured, Maryland districts are generally organized in the same manner. So the Board of Supervisors provides overall supervision and sets policy to address local resource concerns. And the board assures that the district performs tasks that are required by law, and also that it follows through on commitments established in memorandums of understanding, MOUs or MOAs. And then the everyday business of running a district is handled by the district staff. The district conservationist, or DC, is responsible for providing technical supervision, plan reviews, etc. And then the district manager is responsible for handling administrative details, office operations, and plan approvals on the board's behalf. So the managers may also assume some of the technical responsibilities as well. Now, each of the boards, each reports to the Board of Supervisors and provides the board with the information that it needs to make policy and planning decisions. So just looking at this overall, the district board is responsible for setting policy, for creating work plans, that the district manager is responsible with the district staff for implementing. Okay, so it's everybody's responsibility on this chart to provide the information and context that helps the district board in order to make those decisions. And it's the district board's responsibility to integrate all of that information, to ask questions, to be engaged, and to use their own experience in order to address those local resource concerns. So just in a very broad overview of some of the federal and state programs, not an exhaustive list by any means, but on the federal level, some of the Farm Bill programs that you'll run into include the Environmental Quality Incentives Program, or EQIP, administered by NRCS and delivered through soil conservation districts. So generally, the program provides financial assistance up to 75% of the installation of best management practices, and contracts are from 1 to 10 years in length. And so EQIP and the max funding at the state level might be combined to increase that percentage of cost share. There's the Conservation Stewardship Program, or CSP, that helps agricultural producers maintain and improve their existing conservation systems and adopt additional practices to address priority resource concerns. So CSP, in that case, the participants earn payments for performance. And so the higher the performance, the higher the payment. And then there is also the Conservation Reserve Program and Conservation Reserve Enhancement Program, CRP and CREP, that are administered by FSA, designed to set aside highly erodible land and other sensitive land and provide rental payments to a farmer for a period of 10 to 15 years. So the districts have a role often in that program as well. So on the state level, the state offers Maryland's Agricultural Water Quality Cost Share, or MAX program, established in 1984 to help farmers protect natural resources on their farms and comply with federal and state environmental regulations. So MAX provides farmers with grants to cover up to 100% of the cost to install BMPs on their farms, to control soil erosion, manage nutrients, and safeguard water quality. So maximum funding level of up to $75,000 per project applies, excluding animal waste treatment systems. And as we said before, in many instances, Max and USDA funds can be combined to fund a project together. There's also the manure transport program, which provides cost share assistance of up to $28 per ton to transport manure from animal operations with excess waste, or documentation of phosphorus over enrichment. There is the cover crop program, which provides an annual payment plus potential incentives to cover labor, seed, equipment costs for the planting of eligible fall cover crops. And there are several new initiatives that are getting underway to include Cover Crops Plus, to include initiatives for small farms and urban agriculture, a conservation buffer initiative, and healthy soils. So looking at just a quick overview, because we have MASCD, who I work with, and State Committee, who Alicia works with, and just a little bit about the difference and similarities between the two of them, because we do overlap quite a bit. So State Committee was established in 1938 by statute to serve as the administration and oversight, and a critical link between MDA and the districts. So the structure of State Committee is that there's a member from each of the 5 regions in Maryland, as well as representatives from MDA, MDE, DNR, Ag Commission, MASCD, UMD, and additional advisors. And so they serve an advisory role, that connection between the districts and those partners to the Secretary of Agriculture on issues related to resource conservation. And then MASCD was established in 1945, and what it does that differs from State Committee is that it serves as kind of the outward-facing voice of the conservation districts, a single statewide voice for all the districts in Maryland. So the membership with MASCD has 120, all 120 district supervisors. And then each of the chairs of those districts makes up the board of directors. And so our focus is to represent the conservation districts on a statewide basis. We also, along with State Committee, we both provide an arena or forum for individuals to discuss issues on a statewide level. MASCD has more capacity for working with elected officials. So we're, as a nonprofit organization, we're limited in how much we can lobby. We focus on more education and outreach to elected officials. But we do have the capacity to do that on behalf of the conservation districts on that statewide and national level. And so those are some of the major differences. I'm going to stop here and see if Alicia has anything to add on any of the slides in this section or on this piece in particular.
Thanks, Jen. No, I think this is a helpful chart to differentiate a little bit, but also recognize that while the voting membership of the two are distinct, really both are there to provide a forum and a voice for the district, either locally or, like you suggest, maybe even on kind of the state level, and advocate for some legislation in a way. So we each have our role, work very closely and coordinate together on a number of initiatives, and appreciate the engagement of the board supervisors in every instance.
Absolutely.